Howdy, this is Crazy Grinding back again with an Arena Cutoff video for Marvel Contest of Champions. Today I cover my Round 1 thoughts on the new Ebony Maw and Punisher 2099 arenas. So the first thing I always like to do is categorize these to past arenas, as that allows me to look at those past arenas and figure out kind of what the trends are for the cutoffs. And when it comes to feature arenas, really there's two types, new and old, and obviously Ebony Maw is new to the game as a playable character, so definitely his first time in the arenas. And then with Punisher 2099, he falls into that low bucket. He's been in the arena, he's been in the game for a while. This is multiple times he's been in the 4-star basic arena, so definitely falls into that low interest camp. So now that I've categorized these, let's take a look at some past results for similar past arenas. So starting first with the 4-star basic low arenas, you can see for the most part we're looking right around between 1.55 and 1.65, kind of with the average around 1.6 million. It's pretty consistent for these type of champs, so there's no reason to believe that'll be any different with Punisher 2099, I should say. Now coming to the feature arenas with the 3-star, we basically have gotten into the range now anywhere from 1.35 to 1.4. These numbers have been trickling and have steadily been increasing over time. So even though you don't really see that 1.4 here, these are feature arenas from many months ago, when for a brief time the community areas that collect the self-reported cutoffs from the community, they were collecting 3 stars again, but that again has stopped. But during that pocket 4 or 5 months ago, we were seeing those scores around 1.34, and what I've been hearing to 1.4, and what I've been hearing from others is that it's been closer to 1.4 here more recently. Now coming to the 4-star feature, here's some of the more recent results, and you can see with Annihilus we were looking at 8.3, but they've been steadily at 11 million or above to around 12 million or so consistently over the last 3 new champs arenas, and so I think that's a pretty decent trend we're seeing here. No reason to think that'll change with Ebony Maw. And with the 5-star feature arena, this is where we get a little bit more variety, starting first with Annihilus. You can see we're looking at 34, then Human Torch came in at 51, Ronin came in at 37, and then more recently we had Cole Obsidian come in at 62. Now, while I think Ebony Maw is a good champ and has some decent synergies, I don't think he's at the same level with Ebony Maw. So I think we're looking more into that probably Human Torch range, because again, he does have some. He's a definitely could be an annoying defender. So you're going to see people wanting to get him as a defender. Plus the synergies he has, I think he's going to be more Human Torch level versus some of the lower cutoffs like with Annihilus and Ronin. So, considering these past trends, here are my thoughts for the Round 1 cutoffs for the Veterans Bracket, meaning your account's been open for over 61 days. I think we're looking at 53 million for the 5-star version of Ebony Maw. I think we're looking at 12.3 for the 4-star feature arena. I think we're looking at 1.6 for Punisher 2099 and around 1.4 million for the 3-star feature Ebony Maw. And again, these cutoff predictions are for the Veterans Bracket. And like I always say with this channel, there's not an exact science to this prediction game. I do apply a little data analytics with the whole trend analysis, but it's not very sophisticated. There's not a big sample set. So with that being the case, this is definitely not an exact science sport, if you will. I always try to get within 5 to 10%. So that is why I always like to give a grind target. If you want to give yourself that little buffer just in case I'm way off this time or beyond that 10% target, I do think you should go on to 56 million. Should give you plenty of room with the 5-star feature Ebony Maw. You can even push it to 58 to 60 if you really want to, but I think that'll be overkill with this arena. I think 13 million would be fine for the 4-star feature Ebony Maw. I think 1.8 million will give you that cushion for Punisher 2099, and 1.45 to 1.5 million should give you plenty of space for the 3-star feature Ebony Maw. And the grind targets, just like the predictions, are for the Veterans Bracket. When it comes to the earlier brackets, both beginner and intermediate, there's not a ton of data out there. I always say there's not none of the community spots like MCOC, Truckos, or Reddit that are collecting self-reported scores by the players. Nobody's ever really asking for intermediate or beginner bracket information. They're always just looking for veterans, the Veterans Bracket. And so So there's not a lot of historical data to look at this. However, folks from time to time will in the comment section or on my Twitter account will let me know kind of what they scored in some of these earlier brackets, so that gives me a sense of what's going on. Plus, not too long ago, a couple months ago, as a matter of fact, I started a new free-to-play account, and I myself went through some of these earlier brackets and played around with some of the arenas to get a sense of kind of where these cutoffs are. So considering that, plus the recent surge of new players and what some of the recent scores look like, here are my thoughts for those earlier brackets, starting first with the beginner bracket. I think for the 3-star feature, we're looking at 245,000. For the 4-star basic, we're looking at 800,000, and for the 4-star feature, 1.1 million. Now, fortunately, more right around the corner with the last arena, we started to hear some of the scores drop again. With Call Obsidian, they really spiked, and I think that we saw a spike of a number of people new to the game as well, so that's why you really saw those numbers go up. Plus, not to mention, Call Obsidian, one of the better champs we've seen added to the game in some time, but even with a hotly sought-after Aegon in the 4-star basic arena last time, we saw those scores come down. So because of that, that's why I have some of these lower scores, like even in the intermediate bracket, easy for me to say. 3-star feature, we're looking at 550,000, 4-star basic, 800,000, and 4-star feature, 1.1 million. But like I was just saying a few minutes ago, hopefully these scores go down even further, closer to what I was seeing a couple months ago before we got to the end game and the surge of new players and new accounts that I think had a impact on pushing those cutoffs a little bit higher in these earlier brackets. But again, just more recently with Aegon, we saw those numbers start to go lower again, and if we see them again with Ebony Maw, it will be a good sign as the numbers are going back to under 1 million to get either the 4-star feature, 4-star basic champ for the newer accounts, which is good for everybody, as it gives them more 4 stars sooner than later. But anyway, these are my thoughts for the first round arena cutoffs for Ebony Maw and Punisher 2099. Would love to hear any questions you have, or definitely any difference of opinion. Throw it on down in the comment section and we can definitely discuss it there. Other than that, if you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you click that like button. And if you like this and other videos on my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, I'd really appreciate it if you did. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a great day.